Hi everyone, it's Brent with BC Dubs, bringing you folks a hopefully another watchable video. Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope everyone enjoyed their Christmas. I'm filming this on December the 26th, the day after Christmas. Had to sleep in today. I'm off of work, which is great, but the kids woke me up at 2 a.m. Leave a comment down below if your kids came running down the hallway at 2 o'clock in the morning screaming, "Everybody wake up, it's Christmas time." Of course, we told the kids to go back to bed or we're going to give all the presents away. But anyway, without further ado, thanks for tuning in. We are at 96 subscribers, 4 away from 100. We're desperately trying to get to that 100 subscriber mark here on the channel. And when we do, I'll bring you guys something really special that is music related. As a matter of fact, I got a little sample of what that could possibly be right here. We will open this up when we get to, I don't want to give the front away. When we get to 100 subscribers, we're going to open this up on the channel. This will go with 2 more of these that I have. And anybody that's been watching my channel for a while might know what this is. They might have an idea. But please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel so we can open this bad boy up on the channel. I'd love to bring it to you guys. Anyway, I know we were talking a lot about college football. We're not going to do that today. Today, we're going to do a video on what were my best vinyl record finds this year for myself. What bands did I discover this year that I really enjoyed this year. And I'm going to bring you guys and girls those albums today in this video. Like I said, if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment down below. What are some bands that you folks discovered or rediscovered this year that you were listening to and that you really enjoyed? You know, I'm 44 years old. Some of this music came out way before my time, and I wasn't privy to any of it until now. As I get older, my tastes seem to change somewhat in music. And one of my favorite things to do is go to my local record store and thumb through the records and discover old music that I've never heard before, because to me and my ears, it's like discovering new music. So this video isn't 45 minutes long. I'm going to get right into it. We got quite a stack of records here. So without further ado, let's get into it. So one of the first records that we're going to talk about today that I discovered this year was Blue Cheer. Anybody that likes psych rock and that early psych rock and just rock and roll, the beginnings of hard rock, this is a great album to discover and listen to. This is the back of the record. This particular copy is not in very good shape. It's torn. I need to glue it here. The record itself is in pretty good shape, but this is Blue Cheer, new and improved. This is an original copy. That's why it's not in such good shape. This record came out in daggum 1969. This is a 1969 press of this record. But yeah, Blue Cheer. I believe this was their first album. Next up, we have another Blue Cheer. This is, what is that? Vincibus Eruptum. This is a re-release, a 1980, I believe, 1979 re-release print. The original copy is more silver on the border. This is more blue. Like I said, this is a reprint. But yeah, man. Songs like The Ground of Being Changed, The Sound of Time, Live Seek, Unrevealed Love, Dance Your Wonder, Aid. Just really good psych rock from Blue Cheer. So that's all the Blue Cheer I have in this video. But yeah, I discovered Blue Cheer this year. I don't like all psych rock, but I like that. It's more of your moderate psych rock. So really enjoy those 2 records. Next up, we have 1974's Amon Duel Hijack. This is a very unique album. Very different sounding. This is more of your like space rock type music, but I discovered this album. This is one of my more of my unique albums that I've discovered this year that's on the list. Oh, can't seem to get that back into sleep, so we'll move on. And you know, one thing too, one of the purposes of this video is that I hope somebody will come across it and go out and you know, get these albums. Maybe you've never heard of these records before, and you're a record collector or a music buff, and it's something that maybe you want to go and listen to. And that's one of the whole purposes of making these videos. And these music videos in general, it's about being a community and bringing a community together of music lovers back when they used to make music with 4 to 5 guys in a room or girls in a room playing instruments and producing a whole record. None of this, I'm going to create a song on a computer today and we're going to put it out. None of that. This is their old heads music. Next up, we have 1967's press of Clear Light. This is more of your borders on the line of psych rock and classic rock, hippie rock, stoner rock, whatever you want to say. This is Clear Light. Discovered them this year. Enjoy that record quite a bit. Okay. Next up, and I've talked about this band on my channel before. This is I forget what year this came out. I want to say 1972 or 74, something like that. This is Wishbone Ash. I mean, we're talking about a band right here that toured with Metallica, and being such a huge Metallica fan that I am, you would think I would have known that. I did not know that Wishbone Ash had toured with Metallica way back in the early days. I think they toured. There was one tour. They were a special guest with Metallica. They were touring with Wasp and Wishbone Ash and bands like that. And then reading up on Wishbone Ash, I discovered that Wishbone Ash actually inspired bands like Opeth and Megadeth and Metallica and bands like that. Now, they're not as heavy as that, but if you listen to the album, you can hear the early workings of that rhythmic, heavy sound that we all, you know, all of us thrash metal guys and heavy metal guys grew to love and enjoy. And some of the roots of that sound, bands like, you know, Black Sabbath, obviously, and Wishbone Ash, and other bands like Led Zeppelin and bands like that. And there were a lot of other bands, and maybe there'll be some more in this stack here that we could talk about. But this is my absolute favorite. This is another Wishbone Ash record. This is my absolute favorite Wishbone Ash record that I own. I only own 2. They do have somewhere like 13 to 15 studio albums. Their earlier stuff is the stuff I'm into. The stuff that they came out, they had a lot of albums in the 80s, but they changed from their original lineup. Completely a change from the original lineup. I think there was only one existing member left. So this earlier stuff, the 1970 through 78 type Wishbone Ash era, is what I'm really into. And this stuff is just fantastic. If you haven't heard Wishbone Ash, do yourself a favor, especially this album here. Do yourself a favor and listen to it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your music from. You know, this album, it only has 4 songs on it. Blind Eye, Lady Whiskey, Heirs of the Way, Queen of Fortune. Fancy, and Phoenix. But there's like a 20-minute long instrumental on this record. It's super cool, man. Wishbone Ash is a great, great, great listen. Give it a listen if you haven't ever heard it. Of course, I've showed this record before. Now, this is all stuff I picked up in 2024. Hence, we're doing the video before 2025 comes out. This is a reissue, a 2001 reissue of 13th Floor Elevators. I paid a pretty good money for this, but this is not one of my favorite psych rock albums. I know if any psych rock fans are out there, they're going to probably scorn me for saying that. This album's kind of all over the place. I get it. I appreciate it at the time. I think the original came out in 68, 69, something like that. Band from Texas, 13th Floor Elevators. Let me get move some of this stuff out of the way. I do not want to knock the camera over. This is an 80s band. I thought it was unique. This is just something that I found. This is Bronze. You see the guys in the back. Real 80s. A lot of, let's see, we got some tiger print here, some leopard print here. I'm not sure if this is zebra. We almost have all the animals of the African safari represented here on the back of this cheesy hair metal album, bronze. I mean, just look at that album art. We got a skeleton driving a horse carrying a damsel in distress away through the night with a nice, and you can't have an 80s cheesy metal, 80s hair metal album without a lightning bolt cracking in the background. Love, love, love. The cheesier, the better for me, especially when discovering music that I've never heard before. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that the music on this particular album is fantastic by any means. It's definitely listenable. It's not fantastic. It's not Motley Crue by any stretch of the imagination. But to my album collecting and what I'm trying to do, I enjoyed the unique album art of it. And it's not something that I'm just against listening to. I have listened to that whole album, and it's okay. One of the best albums in my collection. Now, I didn't think it would be. When I found it, I bought this year. I paid a pretty good penny for it. It's in really good shape. But this is just absolutely let it spin in the background and let it play. Just a killer album. This is Van Morrison, Astral Weeks. I've talked about this album many times on the channel. It's in fairly good shape. The album jacket does have some water damage up here at the top. The front is in really good shape. This isn't water damage. This is a tree with a superimposed picture of his face on it. But this is Astral Weeks by Van Morrison. Just a killer album. Van Morrison is an icon in music. And I just love this album. This is a go-to that I'll always go back to when I'm just thumbing through my music and I don't really know what I want to listen to. I'll pick this album up every time and listen to it. It just gets better every time I listen to it. You know, I did, obviously I knew who Van Morrison was. It wasn't like I discovered Van Morrison this year, but only his like top radio hits and all that. And I like the deeper tracks. If anybody watches my channel, you folks know that I enjoy the deeper tracks, the stuff that's not all over the radio. This album does have a song that was all over the radio at one point. And come on in, Madeline. Hey everybody, this is Maddie. She's going to join us for a little bit of this video. This is, please don't shake the camera there, babe. Yeah. This is Talk. This is a 1982 original copy. And one of the songs on here is, all you ever do is talk. You want to sing it, Maddie? No. Talk. But this is 1982's So Winchester Press of Talk. The party is over. You gotta have, look at that album art. Doesn't get more 80s than that. You gotta have a little Talk in your collection. Don't you think, Maddie? Yeah. All right, Matt, what are you doing? Why don't you run back inside? When I'm done, I'll come in. Okay. Go back inside. I'll come in a minute. Let me finish my video, okay? All right. Love you. Okay. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, babe. Next up, we have some heavy metal from a heavy metal fan. This is Legends of the Siegelmen. You've heard me talk about this on the channel before. This has Danny Carey, drummer from Tool, and a couple of other guys. This is basically a super group. And think Nordic sea, out to sea, big crashing waves, horrible weather, surviving out at ocean type of metal, if there was such a genre of that. That's what this is. Seaworthy metal. Yeah. Arg. Yeah. But I discovered them this year. This is not an easy album to find either, by the way, and I paid a pretty good penny for this record. So glad to have this in my collection. Oh boy, this is one of my most recent pickups. This is, I just had this reviewed on the channel. I think 80s hair metal as well. This is Messiah's Prophet. This is an original press, 1986 on Pure Metal Records. And this is Messiah's Prophet, is the beginnings of Christian hard rock and Christian heavy metal. They're one of the founding members of Christian heavy metal. And we have bands today like Flyleaf and POD and Skillet and bands like that that can thank bands like Messiah's Prophet for kicking down the door and saying, hey, we love God too. We're fans of Jesus as well. Let's make some hard rock. And Messiah's Prophet is one of the pioneering members of that whole line of music. This is special to me. I've showed this on the channel before. I picked this up in, I think my local record store here in Lakeland. This is a 1982 press of Anvil, Metal on Metal. And if you look real close, you can see here, it's signed here and here by the two founding members of Anvil. It's a fantastic thrash metal record. Anvil, Metal on Metal. Love it, love it, love it. Can't get enough of it. Another killer record. And you'll notice that we already talked about Wishbone Ash, who has toured with Metallica. Anvil has toured with Metallica. These guys are all friends. I don't know how close, the guys of Metallica are to Wishbone Ash and Anvil, but at one time they all got along and they all appreciated each other's contribution into the hard rock heavy metal scene. And this band that I'm fixing to show you next is no different from Anvil or Wishbone Ash when it comes to the boys of Metallica. And what we have here is, and this is one of my favorite records. I picked up one of my tops of all year. This is Budgie, Bandoler, and this is an absolute mint copy of this album. This is an expensive album, a copy in this good a shape will cost you around, whoop. Okay, well this album just got a little bit cheaper. No, that's okay. It did not fall out and get damaged. It fell on the couch here. But a copy of this album in this good a shape will run you anywhere from $50 to $70. And everyone will remember, if you're a Metallica fan, you'll remember Bread Fan off their 1987 Garage Days EP, Bread Fan. Bread Fan, you got it wrong, some longtime friend gonna lose it in the end. Who's a fool? Yeah, that was Budgie. They took that song from Budgie and they did it on their Garage Days revisited album in 1987. So clearly Metallica was a fan of Budgie, and if Metallica's a fan of you, I probably am too. But here's the actual vinyl on MCA. They released this on two different labels. The MCA is a little more pricey. The original sleeve, well, the original sleeve there. And I'm sorry if I'm kind of all over the place today. Let me get this back in here. This is one of my more expensive records. I do not want to cause any more damage to this than I could have just already have done there. I try to take care of my stuff. Bear with me. Take a sip of your favorite beverage while you're waiting. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is turning out to be real. Let's do this. Almost got it. Wow, you would think that I've never done a music video before. I am kind of all over the place today. Well, I mean, it's Christmas. Come on, what do you think? What do you expect? It's Christmas time. Let me get this original sleeve back in here, which is going to end up being a, let me try it like this. If I can get it in. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, we're going to set the Bungie album to the side, or else we'll be here all day. We're going to pick up the number two, or another one, I should say, not number two. Now, this is not a older band that I've discovered. Well, it is an older band, but I didn't just discover them. I had this album when I was 17 or 18 years old. This is Bush, Razor Blade Suitcase. The reason I want to show this album, I did pick this up this year. This is a reissue, obviously, a 2013 reissue of this record. So an older reissue and a very well done reissue of this record. Look at the marbling on this record. Color vinyl's not the be all end all, but this particular press is just with the splatter. It's just killer. And that's the first disc. Let me show you guys that. Let me get this back in here. And it's on 180 gram vinyl. I know that doesn't mean anything, everything to everybody, but it does sound really, really, really good. This is the other album. It's a two album LP. And one of the reasons that it's a 2-album LP is because there's 4 previously unreleased songs on this particular reissue. It's just, by all accounts of the word, this is just one of the best reissues of any album that I own. There's a full-size poster inside here. I've showed it on the channel before. You can go back and check it out. I love the cover. It's just very high quality, very, very well redone. I'm sorry, it's a 2017 reissue. I said 2013. Killer album. One of my favorite Bush albums of all time. And I have seen Bush live, and they put on a killer show. Next up, for more of my progressive rock, prog rock, and alt rock, hard rock slash, and kind of hard rock, but more progressive rock, we have Man, Slow Motion. Discovered them this year. There's the fellas on the back. Got a little bit of ring wire on there, but that's okay. Man, Slow Motion, just to let it sit on the background, let it play. Pretty good. Not my favorite. I don't like a lot of prog rock, but for prog rock, that's pretty good. We're gonna move this one to the side. Another kind of tie-in with Metallica. This is B.I.T.C.H. The B.I.T.C.H. is back. Here, this is a female vocal thrash record. I mean, it is thrash. Think Kill 'Em All type sound, but with female vocals. It is a fantastic, fantastic record. This particular band only has two records that ever got released, maybe 3, maybe there was a third one, but I will tell you that on Metal Massacre, which was the compilation album that had Hit the Lights on it from Metallica, the very first one that came out, this band here also had a song on that same album. So they were coming up at the same time that Metallica was coming up. Looks like Metallica got the better management and the better record deal, because the rest is history. But this is just a fantastic thrash metal record. Discovered that this year. Didn't really discover this album this year, knew about this album, but bought this album this year. This is Smashing Pumpkins' Sear, one of my favorite songs of the last 2 years on it, which is the title song, Sear, C-Y-R. Really, really love that song. This is an incredible album. Think 80s synthwave is the kind of the sound you're getting from this album. And that's kind of the thing about Smashing Pumpkins is with Smashing Pumpkins, every album from there sounds different. Just take a look. They got a whole, I don't know if this is a slide off. It's got a whole booklet that came with the album. It's basically their lyric sheet, which I thought was a nice touch. Here is nice plastic sleeved liners, purple vinyl. One of my best finds of 2024. Had heard the album before digitally on, YouTube or whatever, but wanted to get it on vinyl, and am certainly glad that I did that. Just a great record. The name of the album is, like I said, Sear. With some more of the album art on the inside. Just killer stuff by the Smashing Pumpkins. And they said it's a follow-up album to their previous album. But like I say, think 80s synth pop, kind of, when you're thinking of this record. And that way you're not going out and thinking you're going to get like a Melancholy and Infinite Sadness type more hard rock record from Smashing Pumpkins, because that is not what that is. But nonetheless, it is a great album for what it is. Next up, didn't discover this band this year, knew about this band, but this is a 1974 Pittman Press, Grateful Dead, Best of the Dead. This is the greatest hit, Skeletons from the Closet, Grateful Dead album. I bought this particular copy because it is in fantastic, fantastic shape. So glad to have. I don't have a lot of Grateful Dead in my collection. Not a huge Grateful Dead fan anyway, but really glad to have this particular album in my collection. Next up, for whatever reason, I have been listening to this song, like I've listened to it like 15 times in the last 2 days. This album's about 2 years old. Did finally get my hands on a copy of this. This is Red Hot Chili Peppers, Unlimited Love. And I'm going to tell you right now, the number one song on this album, Black Summer. Where's it at? Oh yeah. Black Summer is just killer. But this is, if you like Red Hot Chili Peppers, this is an essential Red Hot Chili Peppers album. I don't know why this didn't get more fanfare than it did. Unlimited Love by the Red Hot Chili Peppers came out in, see if I can see it. Oh, 2 years ago, 2022. Just bought it this year. Next up, man, you want to talk about some hard rock, heavy metal? Discovered this album. This is Eternity's End. Killer. I think this is like some Kraut heavy metal, German heavy metal from that area. Correct me if I'm wrong. Down in the comments below. Limited edition. That's why I bought it. It's a limited edition on clear vinyl, which I think is super cool. It's the only clear vinyl record that I own. Some of the songs on here: Dreadnoughts, The Voyage of the Damned, Bane and the Black Sword, Hounds of Tyndalos, Call of the Valkyries, Arcturus Prime, Shaded Heart, Death Rider, Embers of War. The drums and the drummer on this record is absolutely insane. It's an insane heavy metal record with clean vocals, which I like. I'm not into that grindcore, death metal type vocal. I need to hear about what you're singing about. You know what I mean? That's just me. To each their own, but just some really cool album art. And Eternity's End, Embers of War. One of the best metal albums that I've found this year. I have known about this album for a long time, but this is Extreme Pornography. I brought this up on the channel numerous times. It's a fantastic album. Just great guitar play on this album. Pornography. Glad I picked this up this year. Paid a pretty penny for that album. Picked this up in memory of Taylor Hawkins, the drummer from the Foo Fighters. This was one of his side projects. This is the Birds of Satan. Just standard rock and roll type record, and that's what this is. Glad I got my hands on a copy of this before it went through the roof. This is the Birds of Satan by Taylor Hawkins, and that's his band. I'm glad I picked that up. Techno, but like rock techno. This is God Alone. It's a crazy record here. I think this is on Splatter. Let's see here. Yeah, like a peppermint splatter. But man, this was another one of those white vinyl with red splatter. This is another one of those that I just saw at the record store and picked it up because I like the album art. It's just killer techno hard rock type. A little bit of dubstep stuff in there. So bringing you folks a little bit of everything. We got some prog rock, some acid rock. We got some psych rock. We got some heavy metal. We got some classic rock. Got a little bit of everything in here. Hair metal. Axe, Nemesis. Love this record. Just a straight up good hard rock album. Got that this year. Really enjoy this record. And you cannot go wrong with an alien holding a guitar shaped like a double-sided axe. And of course, you can't have an 80s metal record without a lightning bolt. Love it. Axe, Nemesis. Drive, Characters in Time. It's another great, it's a hard rock album, clean vocals. This particular fellow that made this record, the frontman and the lead of the band, unfortunately passed away after our second album, but this is a great record. Drive, Characters in Time. Really enjoy this album here. And last but not least, because we're already at 28 minutes, you want some good psych techno? This fella is no longer with us either, and this is Patrick Crowley, Mind Warp. This is just a killer. Early 80s. The guy had a disco background. This is not disco. This is more techno dance music. Early 80s techno record. So that's it. Those are my best discoveries of 2024. Please leave down in a comment below what are some stuff that you folks out there have discovered out in the wild. Now, every one of these records I did not search up. I did not look for them online. These are all records that I went to my local record store and just discovered going through the vinyls. And that's one thing that I really enjoy doing when I have the time to do that. I know that I haven't been putting a lot of music videos on the channel of late because of college football. College football season is now winding down, and I feel like I need to get back to it. Now, like I said, we got 96 subscribers. Once we reach 100, we're going to open this bad boy up right here. We're going to open this bad boy up. So if you folks want to see this opened up and you're not subscribed, it's free to do. Please hit that subscribe button and we will open this up on the channel and we'll get a look at it. Listen, hope you guys enjoyed your Christmas. Enjoy your New Year's. Got more videos to come. I got plenty of time this week. I'm off for the rest of the week. And also, don't forget, I got my 2 Windows albums up here in the window. First one to guess properly what they are, I will pin your comment up top. It should be pretty easy today if you're a fan of 90s grunge. So thank you so much for watching the video. Have a happy new year, and we'll see you on the next one.